Still with me is veteran prosecutor Paul Henderson, jury consultant Robert Swafford, and immediate past president of the National Bar Association, CK Hoffler. Guys, in what was probably the most distasteful, unprofessional, and disrespectful moment of lawyering by the defense, and there's been several moments, came from Greg McMichael's attorney, Laura Hogue, during her closing arguments yesterday, when she not only blamed Ahmaud for his own death, you know, that's just par for the course with the defense, but she described Ahmaud as having, quote, long, dirty toenails. CK, that was unnecessary and most certainly inflammatory. Was it intentional?
It was intentional. It was unnecessary, it was inflammatory, it was disgraceful, it was embarrassing, it was horrific, it was uncalled for, and there are a bunch of other words I could use. But it was certainly a low moment for every single officer of the court to hear this attorney make that reference. It was uncalled for. What she was doing was creating for the jurors. And what scares me is that she would have only been saying that if she felt that there could be some traction from a juror. She wanted to create this image of Ahmaud Arbery as, you know, the boogeyman, the big, bad, black, threatening, terrifying, horrific, aggressive man, none of which he demonstrated this entire time. But that's what she was creating. And I can tell you that I would not be surprised if there aren't ramifications based on her conduct in raising that and bringing that to the attention and saying that during closing.
Paul, should this have been addressed in the prosecution's rebuttal? I'm not sure if it did or she made a reference to it, but should she have gone a little, if she did, gone a little further in really pointing that out for the jury, or does it speak for itself?
I think it speaks for itself. I would have brought it up. I wouldn't have repeated it. I'm sure the jury caught it, so much so. I mean, we heard a gasp in the courtroom when she said it. I would have alluded to it and reminded the jury about how the defendants saw Ahmaud Arbery as reflected from their counsel talking about him and how they talked about him. And I think that that goes far enough, because I wouldn't let something like that pass. But that's just me, Paul Henderson, because as a prosecutor, as a black man, it was offensive to the court process. I thought it denigrated the victim and denigrated who Ahmaud Arbery was, but I felt it and received it as an insult to communities of color in the context of what the defense attorney was trying to do. As a prosecutor, I could not let that go without including an allusion to it and tying it to a narrative to ask the jury to respond to it by coming back with the guilty verdict, by asking the jury to validate that Ahmaud Arbery deserved to live, by asking the jury to contemplate the actual arguments that defense attorneys were trying to make that were nonsensical, that did not have credibility, and ultimately were racist and beyond an insult by taking action. And as a prosecutor, I would want to draw those dots, connect those lines for them to lead them to guilt and use those statements against them to empower the jury to use it as a tool to come to a guilty verdict.
Robert, Ahmaud's mother got up and left the courtroom after Hogue's remarks and was heard saying, quote, "I got to get out of here." Attorney Hogue clearly did a disservice to her client, Greg McMichael. Does this reflect poorly on the attorney by the jury, which could negatively affect her client as a result?
Well, here's the thing: is that jurors are human beings, and you were talking before about people, you know, trying to humanize the prosecutor, humanizing the victim, the deceased, right? And this was an effort to dehumanize the victim, and so I think that it would really backfire. And I think, you know, the mother's like just sort of natural response to that, you know, to be observed by a jury. You can't help but, you know, hit people in their heart, right? But what's interesting though is the prosecutor is very much trying to address people in their head. They are not trying to make as an emotional argument. There's something called level 1 and level 2 thinking. Level 1 thinking is your gut experience, your emotional response. And then level 2 takes a lot more work. It's not using shortcuts. It's really looking at all the facts and the evidence and following the logic. And the prosecutor has made an effort to really engage the jury in their intellect and have them deeply work through all the issues and not make as big an emotional appeal as you might in a different kind of case.